Good morning, traders. This is going to be a review of my trading week and also a recap of two more trades that I took today, which is Friday, December 4th, 8:23 a.m. I did take two more trades in the pre-market. If you watched my video from earlier, you can see that I pretty much made a mess of my day and pretty much ruined my week. I was probably going to end with a small green week and just took a pretty big red week today because of the trades from today. So let's just get right into the trades that I took and then talk about the week and what we learned and how we can do better next week. So HGSH ended up blowing up a little bit later, and this is the one I took, or one of the ones I took trades on earlier and lost, but my entries were really bad. There wasn't any volume when I took the trades. And I wasn't watching it when this happened, but I did open up Webull a little bit later in the morning. You can see here, 18 a.m., and noticed, okay, now, wow, this thing's really getting a lot of volume. It's picking up a lot of steam. I'm not in love with this pattern, but basically it's forming a bull flag, and there's a chance to get in for a reversal trade, but I want to see something look decent on the 5-minute chart before I take a trade. So I just let this thing kind of play out for a while, and I'm checking out volume and things like that, just to make sure that people are still buying this thing. Let's see. So you can see I'm just letting it play out, even though there was a couple of like new 1-minute highs here, but it was lots of selling volume, so I didn't like that. And then I was noticing it coming back on VWAP, and I thought, oh, maybe some people are going to buy in for like a bounce off the VWAP. And then when this candle popped up, like right away above this candle, I thought, okay, well, if there's ever a time to enter for a reversal on the 1-minute chart, here it is. Doesn't mean it's going to work, of course, but that's what I was thinking. And then my stop loss would be the bottom of those two candles. Now, I just want to say that I did kind of weak hand this because I spooked myself in the pre-market. I took some really dumb trades, but that doesn't mean you should really not trade properly later on. And of course, that's just an issue that I have. I'm sure a lot of other traders suffer from that when you start making dumb choices. Then when you get into like a decent setup, you still kind of, you're freaked out and you start selling out early. So there I sold 2 shares just to lock in some profit. I didn't think I was going to turn my red day into a green day. I mean, I took 4 terrible trades in the pre-market earlier than this. They were all red, so I had no hopes of getting it back, but I just thought maybe I'll just recoup some. So but maybe that kind of like pessimism also works against me sometimes. But so I'm tempted to get out here actually, because it came back down toward my entry, but I held. I said, you know what, I'm already pretty red on the day. Let me at least hold until it actually hits my entry. So I sell 1 more share there at 434. And I'm just gonna fast forward this. It starts to get a little bit weak here. Yeah. So let me see what happened there. I think I just got out because it broke the bottom of this 1-minute candle. Yeah. So I got out for the rest there. You can argue I should have stayed in. I was only holding 1 share. I could have stayed in as long as it hit my entry and continue higher. And that's probably what I should have done. And let's see. So that's it for that trade. Then there's another one. So at least that was a green trade. I think I only made like 17 cents on it. So still pretty crappy trade. But again, it was about a $17 trade. So it was essentially like a 1% return, slightly less. But so as far as that goes, it's not bad, because that's kind of my bottom goal is if I can get 1% on the trade, I'm happy. But I might need to set my sights a little higher, and I'll explain why in just a second. So here's the second entry. So you see now this is like a nice ABCD pattern, A, B, C, and then D is this run, and then it's doing it again. So A, B, C, and then the break of this candle. There's my entry. I got a good entry. I got a fairly big stop, like 13 cents. But this the one of the reasons why I got back into this is because look at how the volume is increasing. So the price ran up here without much buying, and then now all of a sudden you got more people buying. It should continue higher. That was my idea. And you can see I'm getting my my 1R, sell half at 1R, which is kind of part of my strategy for the past couple of months. Maybe changing that soon. And then I actually had to walk away from the trade for a second because one of my cats was trying to wake my wife up, and I had to go get him. So I walked away at some point, and then when I came back, my sell got triggered. Let me just see what happened because I didn't actually get to see it. Yeah, so it just shot right through that limit order. But that was good because that was my plan, at least for this trade, was to sell half at 1R. And then I thought, you know what? I sold out too early on this one based on what happened. So I decided I might sell, I had 2 shares at this point, and I think I was thinking I might sell one more share if this thing, pops up real high again, but then I'm definitely going to hold all the way back down to my entry on that final share, just in case this thing makes another run, right? So this is like an uptrend, pullback, second uptrend, pullback. Now I'm into the third one. And the very last one I would ever buy on these like ABCD patterns is after the second pullback, or the coming out of the second pullback is reasonable. But if this thing did a third pullback, like starting a new trade there is not a good idea. It's too risky at that point. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so I already sold that one share somewhere in there when it popped up again, and now I said, okay, now I'm going to hold. I only have one share. Who cares? Let me just hold it, see if this thing continues on. So you'll see what happens. It does start to do a little pullback, but finally decide to hold strong, and then it starts to do the pullback. So now this looks exactly like this pattern, right? You're getting these 2 red candles, and it may run higher. So I decided at this point, if it breaks the high of this candle, I'm going to average in with just one more share. So that's just going to, give me an average of those 2 prices that I get, which probably would be an okay idea, like if I started that down here. So basically on this candle there, it breaks, and then at some point I added, maybe I was a little bit late on that entry, but I added there, I got another share at 479. Now you can see, just rewind that just a little bit here. So I want you to see where, so the share that I bought was at 479, but you'll see it averages it for you. My position moved up to the average of those 2 prices. So 468 was the average. So now basically my idea is that if it, obviously I want this thing to continue higher, but if it doesn't, I would definitely get out at my entry. But I'm also thinking, this being that this is like the third uptrend, the chances of this thing continuing on aren't that good. So I decided, let me, if it breaks the opening of this candle, I'm going to get out. And there it did. And so I got out. And that was actually a good idea. Although I should have never really added that share, being that it was so late into the run. Because I actually would have made, not on the whole trade, but on that little, that last sell, if I would have just sold that one share at that same spot, I would have made double what I made by selling those 2 shares where I did. So that average end didn't work out, didn't really help. But you'll see what ended up happening. I think where I got out, yeah, I got out right here. Right there is where I got out. And then you can see what happened. This thing just sold off big time. Here's a pro tip. This will help you guys a lot. Nothing is foolproof in the market, but these, what do they call them? Double tops, I guess, or like an M pattern. This is like a favorite pattern for shorts to get in on. After they see this form, this double top, and then they see like a failure, like that it doesn't make new highs from there, that's when the shorts tend to pile in. And you could see some of them took profit here, and then this thing was able to make a little bit more money, but more people just piled in. It basically, I guess, gave like another failed breakout. So why not, more people come in and short, and that's what happened. So yeah, if you ever find yourself like heading toward one of these double tops and it fails, definitely get out. Don't hold through that. So I made a little bit back from my losses, but still way in the red for today. I didn't make that much back. I was down $4, but I guess the DG stock is now trending up today. Let's see here. Yeah, this is it. So that's not my day trading. That's just that stock I'm holding. So I was down like $1.16 or something on this, and now I'm only down 56 cents. So here's my spreadsheet, and this is really interesting. Stick around for just a few more minutes here. This is actually an interesting stat that I came up with here before I even made these two trades. So before those two trades, let's say I ended the week where I was like $4 down on the day, and I was more than $4 down on the week. I would actually be up $2.60 without taking those stupid trades that I took, which are denoted by the yellow color. So not to say you're ever gonna stop making a dumb trade, but I made way too many dumb trades, and I made some rules. If you watch the other video, you'll see I made a rule that will keep me out of all 4 of those dumb trades that I made in the pre-market this morning. Those should never happen again as long as I follow that rule, which I'm pretty good about following hard and fast, easy rules like I made. So watch that video so you can see what that rule is. And then these were those final 2 trades. They were okay. I'd like to make at least 1%, and I pretty much, if you average those together, I made over 1% on each trade. But here's the really, really interesting thing, and why I wanted you to stick around is I've been collecting data. Like, what would happen if I just held these exact same trades? If I held them, as long as they didn't hit my stop, this is no change of where my stop loss is, which is based on the risk, and that's based on the chart patterns and stuff when I enter. So this wouldn't change. As long as it doesn't hit that stop, if I just put a limit order to sell at 2 times this risk, so 24 cents in this case higher, 26 cents in this case higher than where I entered, does the stock actually would it have gotten there? Would I have made that 2R? And yes, I would have on both of these. And look at this, even with all these crappy trades that I lost $4 on and barely made anything back on these 2 trades, if I would have just held every trade to 2R, I would be green on the day. Only 8 cents, but that's pretty impressive considering how bad I was trading in the pre-market. I lost a considerable amount in the pre-market, more than I've lost all week, more than I've lost really in a long, long time. Yet I would, even making those dumb trades, I would still not only be green on the day, I'd be green on the week. The week I would be up 286. Is that the same thing? So I would be up 286. Instead, I'm down 363 because I didn't hold every trade till 2R. So I think it's getting pretty definitive now. Earlier in the week, I was still like, I don't know, maybe, all that really matters is that most, if not all of your entries have to be very good entries. All of your entries should be good. Otherwise, why are you taking the trade? But what this is showing you is that even taking crappy entries, every single entry I took early this morning was terrible. It was an entry I should not have taken. And watch that video and you can see why. But even with all of those bad entries and then these other yellow trades, which means that I was trading against my plan or taking a bad entry or something like that, even with all those bad entries, I'd still be green on the week. And if I erase those dumb trades, I would probably be up around $4 or $5 and profit for the week, which is big when you consider with my cash account, I'm only trading about $60 maximum a day. Some of these days are even less. No, I'm sorry. Actually, I could be trading up to $120 per day because it's 6 trades and they're about $20 each. So $120 a day. So that, that would be, if this were like a margin account, that would be the way to think about it, that I'm trading with $120. And, if I was up, like my estimate was about $5. So that's like a 4% gain in the week. That's very good. So, I mean, that's almost 20% by the end of the month. So about 16% by the end of the month. So this is telling me pretty definitively, I just need to trade like a man and hold till 2R and not get shaken out, by these little fluctuations that, make me feel uncomfortable. And I think rightly so at this stage in my trading, because I've only been trading about 7 or 8 months now. And, at this point, you're just starting to get comfortable with what really is a good entry, what's a good stock to be trading, where your stop loss should be, all that kind of stuff. I'm just now really starting to build some confidence with it. What I don't have, so the confidence is just not complete enough to where I can say, okay, I entered here. My stop loss is here, and as long as my stop doesn't get hit, I'm going to hold till 2R. The way I do it now is that, like I showed you before, is that I sell half at 1R, which would be probably like around here. And then I just follow the bottom of the 1 minute candles until they get weak, like say it sells off here, and then I sell the rest. That's an okay strategy, but clearly I'm leaving a lot of money on the table, and I'm making a week that could have been green, even with all the dumb trades that I made. I could have had this turn out to be a green week, but instead it's a red week, and a pretty considerable red week. I've lost 1.3% of my account in this week alone, and all of that's not like crazy bad, because when you consider most people's goal for losses is 1 to 2% a day. So this is I can definitely recover from this loss. But if I keep trading the way I am, I don't think I will. So what I need to do is just, like I said, put my big boy pants on and ride these things out all the way till 2R. And when they don't work out, I'll take my stop loss at 1R. But in the end, it should all add up to green across the week, as long as my entries are good, for the most part. I hate to repeat myself, but I think it's a really important thing to realize that all of my entries weren't very good this week, and I still would be green on the week. So I don't really need to worry about that too much. All right, guys. Hopefully this helped you, and hopefully you guys traded a little better this week than I did. But hey, at least I learned a lot, and I shared with you guys. I hope you appreciate it. I think you do. I really enjoy all the comments and the interaction. It seems like you guys like the videos. So I'm just going to keep making them, because not only does this help you guys, which is great, I like to help other people, but this helps me a lot. It's nice to have a YouTube channel that's growing. I'm getting more subscribers every day. Maybe the channel will become monetized at some point, and I may make a little extra money there, and that's nice. But I think, the ultimate payoff here for me is that by helping you guys try to make more money trading, I'm going to be making more money trading myself, because I'm getting so much better and learning so much faster by making these videos and being, more analytical and more critical about my trades than I was before. When I was just trading on my own, I had the attitude of, I think I'm doing the right thing, and, it just didn't work out today. I'll just keep trying, and over time, things will average out and it'll kick in. That's not the way to do it. You really got to be critical, about your trades, and think hard and deeply about why they went wrong, and did they really go wrong because it was just a failed pattern? That's what these red trades are. Is that's when I was in a pattern that looked promising. There was probably volume there. Maybe some of these not so much. I don't know, but let's just assume that was the case. That they had volume. They had the right pattern. They're still going to fail sometime. Even the best patterns, and when you have volume present. But if you're doing everything right all of the time, even when those patterns fail, you should average out green for the week. And that's evident right here, even when I wasn't doing everything right all the time. So anyway, I guess that's enough about that. I will see you guys on Monday. I'm all done for the day because I've already taken all 6 trades. So, and I'm ready for a break from trading anyway. So I'm gonna take the rest of the day off from trading. You guys take care, trade well, trade carefully, and I'll see you on Monday.